gamers and smarties, you might be wondering why this video is tilted at such a weird angle, and it's because when I went to film, I found out my son was joining me for filming today, so he will be overseeing this video for as long as he decides to sleep there. As you probably saw from the title of this video, I'm going to be exploring very briefly, and not with a lot of experience myself, what makes an outfit or a coordinate a Lolita coordinate. As someone who was fairly new, who was confused by all the rules and stigmas surrounding beginning and what I could even use to begin, I thought I'd look into it just in case any newer Lolitas stumble across this video. I thought we'd just jump into that today. Oh, there goes Fart. My son? Well, that wasn't very long at all. Sorry, guys. For example, you might even be looking at my coordinate right now and be like, hang on a minute, that guy's not wearing a headpiece. This coordinate isn't complete, what the heck? And I'd like to say, I think personally it is balanced and coordinated well because the pink matches my dress and the pearls and the little headpieces match my bracelets, so you can suck on it if you don't think I need a headdress right now. Yes, a headdress would probably be better for a coordinate like this, but that doesn't necessarily mean I always have to wear one. Fart, what the hell? I might put my fish poster on the floor so that he sleeps with me. Sleeping with the fishies. Sleep here, my son. Sleep here. So, since I was fairly new, I thought I would think of 3 cases in like the spectrum of Lolita outfit that you can go into when you're starting to get a little bit borderline, or not even that, you're just like out of the like fast rubric that beginner Lolitas are shown. For these examples, I got 2 very sweet and lovely friends of mine who have been Lolitas for 5+ years to look at the example photos I took and tell me a little bit about their thoughts on whether this coordinate was Lolita, not, or any in between. So my first example is just what some Lolitas, or probably most of them for this example, would call a bad coordinate. Every single item in this coordinate is a Lolita brand item, or from a Taubo brand, and it has all the necessary components. You know, it has a headpiece, it's got wrist cuffs, it's got OTKs, shoes, like, it's got the whole shebang. But one part of the outfit, or maybe multiple, I was just going easy route, doesn't really make sense with the rest of the coordinate. Both of them told me that they thought it still was a Lolita coordinate. So the silhouette and theming of an outfit still reads as Lolita, it still counts as Lolita regardless of how terrible or like bad the coordinate in itself is. Honestly, I never really thought about it before. I'm so like EDA coded that I'm like, oh, the moment I do anything wrong with my outfit, it immediately isn't Lolita anymore, you know, like that's it, game over. But people with a little more experience seem to disagree with that, so I was pleasantly surprised. The second photo I showed them was a picture of a coordinate I made without any Lolita items involved. None of the items are from a brand, and I even threw in some head bows instead of a rectangle headdress. It didn't really have any like classic staple Lolita pieces in it at all. The top is a shirt that I thrifted. The skirt is also one that I thrifted. It's actually a classic Dangerfield skirt that a lot of the Lolitas debate about. The socks are just like plain black socks that I found. And once again, they agreed that it was actually Lolita. It still counts as a Lolita coordinate because I coordinated it with the intent of it being readable as Lolita, and it does tick all the boxes. You know, I've got a headpiece on, I've got stuff on my arms, so you don't even need specifically Lolita items to begin. Granted, it is really difficult to find Lolitable items in the thrift shop. You know, I've been thrifting for like 3 years for Lolita stuff and I found barely anything apart from the items that I've shown you here, and it still definitely counts as Lolita if that's the only option to you. For the third example, I thought I'd go... Oh, have you got something to say? Apologies. Give me a second. Goodbye, Bart. Get out of here. Scram. God, I can center the camera for you guys now. What a diva, am I right? Slave. This area feels really empty now, so we have a replacement fart. And the third and final photo I took to ask them about was what I would call a casual coordinate, because I'm wearing a kutsu instead of a blouse, and the skirt that I'm using is kind of a skirt that's more on the plain side. So when you look at an outfit like this, there isn't really a main piece, and both of them wholeheartedly agreed that this was still Lolita because I coordinated the outfit with Lolita imagery and intent. And kutsos, they think kutsos are fine in Lolita, especially when coordinated well. And I specifically used a bunch of brand items in this, like I've got a Baby the Starshine Bright necklace and like a bodyline skirt, not that that's really brand, and it's the old AP kutso I have, just so that I could really like push Lolita items onto this casual outfit and see what people thought about it. And they still agreed that it definitely was Lolita. But hang on now, wait a second. If these experienced Lolitas and many more believe that these three horrendous examples still count as Lolita, how am I supposed to know how to coordinate a Lolita outfit at all? So I've pulled up the Lolita guidebook on Tumblr, how I found out about Lolita, and personally I do think it is a very good starting point on figuring out how to make a Lolita coordinate. The first thing they bring up is definitely, in my opinion, the most important thing, and that's the silhouette. So they agree that you need a puffy skirt. It can be A-line, cupcake, whatever, and I definitely agree with that, and I think most Lolitas would, that yes, the length of the skirt and the shape it has is one of the most important things to a Lolita coordinate. The second thing they mention is waistlines, which gets very, very tricky. You know, the typical Lolita waistline sits a little bit higher than your actual waistline, but I'm a big fan of dropped waists, and there's people that are fans of empire waists. They then go on to talk about necklines, collars, and sleeves, and all things are like attributed to the blouses of Lolita-Fashion, and I think that's where it starts to get a little bit tricky. It just depends if the blouse you're using is Lolitable. And I know that it comes off as so confusing. Once you've been researching and looking at Lolita coordinates a lot, you'll start to deliberate which shirts you can use for Lolita and which you cannot. Let's just look at an example. Okay, here is a shirt that has a square neckline, short sleeves, that is Lolita, and here's one that is not. Like, it's so borderline, and there's lots of things that are in that gray space that you probably could use with Lolita if you wanted to add lace to it yourself or something. But yeah, that's where it starts getting quite tricky, and I honestly would just play it by eye or ask your own com for advice. And from there on out, you can check out the Lolita guidebook on Tumblr. It's literally such a perfect resource, and I don't know who made it. I'll link it, all the info in my caption, but it literally is so freaking cute and well laid out, very easy to understand what's going on. Yeah, they start going into accessories and shoes and like headwear, and it can all get confusing very, very fast. Recently, people have been using this example for Lolita outfits where you should have a main color, maybe a secondary color, and just when you look at your outfit from afar, everything in the outfit should match with each other and be balanced, and I think that's a very good starting point. Make sure that your main piece is actually a Lolita piece. Even if you are planning to sew your own stuff or thrift it and then adjust it, it's good to have a starting base one to look at, you know, and actually be like, all right, I see there has to be this much poof, this is how long it sits on me. So based on our guide, here we have the perfect Lolita outfit. But many examples we've seen, and in Lolita media, lots of things still count as Lolita but don't follow this guide at all. Like, skirts sometimes are much shorter on people, and brands will release stuff that's still Lolita that's not Lolita at all. Like, brands and magazines and so many things, they also break the rules. Like, even Mana-sama in many of the early and recent photography, they are wearing quite short skirts for it still to be considered Lolita. That's because once you're in the community and you know the rules, you are free to break them. So in conclusion, if you're starting out, I would definitely check out some resources. I would connect with your local community, and if there is no local community because you live in the middle of nowhere, just join the closest one or online ones. There's heaps that I adore. And if you're a kid and you're having a really hard time convincing your parents to let you buy stuff from Taobao or Lace Market or wherever it is you want to buy your first main piece of, don't sweat it. You can still join your local comm and you can still draw coordinates that you like, you can still make flat lay edits, you can still engage in the Lolita community without actually having main pieces, and that is completely valid. But there really is no rush. There is no rush at all getting your pieces, and if you do thrift, you can find pieces that are Lolitable as time goes on. Might take a long time, but you'll get there, and you can still appreciate and be part of the community without having a coordinate yet. Heck, you can even start thrifting your blouses and socks and headwear and accessories all ready for an outfit for the day that you finally find a main piece that you have access to. I just hope that if any new or aspiring Lolitas find this video, that they can be encouraged and say that it's not all bad. Please just join, because our community really needs more people in it. You know, no one wants a community or a subculture to die. That'll be all for today, but thank you guys once again so very much for watching. But I hope you enjoyed, and if you have any video suggestions, please drop them for me, because I'm running low on ideas. Usakumiya needs to be fed, please. Appreciate the makeup quickly. Alright gamers, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!